Hey everyone, the name is Erik, and welcome to this morning's live stream where we'll be discussing the Enneagram archetypes, Carl Jung's archetypes, the 16 archetypes that I've been studying for the last year. It's just going to be an introduction live stream because it's just going to introduce the basic concepts that I use to understand the Enneagram types. And no, this is kind of contemporary. This is kind of what I'm working with right now, and I'm still fine-tuning the dichotomies, finding the right keywords, the right ways to describe the types and everything. So first, let me say thank you all for letting us hit 9,000 subscribers. I hope you understand how incredible that is and how amazing that is, because it's been about a year since we really got rolling, and we are already so far along. We are already one of the top communities regarding the Myers-Briggs personality types and Enneagram in the world. So not a lot of channels can compete with that. Well, it's all thanks to you and to the community and to everyone's support, to you sharing the videos, to helping spread things around, and to helping things keep moving, to questioning me, to adding your feedback, to coming with your suggestions. Almost all of my content is just made because people ask for it and people are wondering. Every video I made is almost a response to somebody in the community or some question that I read somewhere. So it's all your ideas really going in there. What I've been digging into for myself lately is, well, I've been researching my own mindset and how I see the world. And I realized that when you look at the Enneagram and at Jung's archetypes, I believe you are, or each Enneagram type works kind of like a cognitive function. The Enneagram 8 is like a cognitive function in the same way feeling and judging is a cognitive function, or thinking and perceiving is a cognitive function. So it's like a mental framework for how we understand the world. So feeling and judging is how we make decisions based on our values and based on qualities and nuances, and how we issue our judgment towards the world and express how we feel and communicate with other people. The Enneagram 8, the ruler archetype, represents how we assume power in the world and how we take responsibility for ourselves and what we do, and how we help and guide other people as well. So it all goes together. It's just a different take on it, really. It's another dimension, a dimension that the Myers-Briggs didn't know about or didn't explore as much. So it's equally important. So I talk about 4 decider archetypes, and the ruler is one of those. Enneagram 8 is one of the decider archetypes. It's an outgoing decider function. It's a conscientious decider function. So it is the right decision as opposed to any decision. And it is a decision that will change the world or will make a difference. So it's an ambitious function. It's a function associated the strongest with ambition and ambitiousness and our ability to put forward our judgment and to take control and to take responsibility for ourselves or our environment. So it is being conscientious in the sense of listening to your values or your opinions or your thoughts on something and trying to take care of that and to assume responsibility for how you express that and what you do with it. So taking, if you made a bad decision, taking responsibility for that and saying, yeah, I made a bad call here, and wanting to make it better. So often the Enneagram 8 as well as the Enneagram 1 really is a very conscientious type. So it wants to do the best thing it could possibly have done, and it wants to, and when it makes a mistake, it says, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that, I should have done it better. So that's how it works. But the Enneagram 8 is outgoing and the Enneagram 1 is inwards. So the Enneagram 8 is trying to put forward their judgment, where the Enneagram 1 is trying to polish on or improve on something. And that desire to polish or improve on something, that desire to make something better, that is very inwards oriented. So it can be based on our surroundings or on our inner state, but it's all about, you know, that inwards oriented process, that process of taking something, making it better, improving, fine-tuning, and developing and thinking about something so that it is the best it could possibly be. So the Enneagram 8 can appear to be a bit rash because it's always pushing forward. It's always thinking about, what can I do? How can I do this? How can I make it better? So it's a very action-oriented function, where Enneagram 1 can be described as a kind of passive function. But of course, that's only based on the outside. On the inside, it's quite an active function, because it's always going, is this good enough? Could this be better? Could I do this differently? So it's always polishing, fine-tuning, putting things together. It's methodical. So a difference between the Enneagram 8 and the 1 is clearly that the Enneagram 8's outgoing tendency produces a ruler, where the Enneagram 1's inwards tendency produces a rebel. So it rejects what the outside is and what everyone expects of you, and it goes inside, and it goes, what do I want? What do I think is best? So the Enneagram 1 judgment is a lot more focused on reformation and improvement, fixing. So moving forward, Enneagram 9 is similarly inwards. Just like the Enneagram 1, it's an inwards orientation. So it's very focused on its inner state and its own thoughts and its own opinions and its own ideas. And it can, just like the Enneagram 1, be seen as passive. But where the Enneagram 1 has a conscientious attitude and wants to make better and wants to fix and wants to take care of and to take responsibility for something, the Enneagram 9 has a very liberal and free attitude. So anything goes. Anything is okay. What people say and what they do, that's all okay. Everything is acceptable. There is no wrong answer. There is nothing that is explicitly wrong to do. Everything is just different. So the Enneagram 9 has a very utopian or innocent mindset. There is no wrong. There is just different. That's the 9 attitude, the base mindset. So it's a mindset that can lead to being seen as innocent, in a sense that you're not aware of mistakes or deceit or manipulation or problems, in a sense, because your Hakuna Matata mentality, in a way of putting it, can keep you seeing those things. But the Enneagram 9 is also a utopian type, in the sense of the ideal outcome, wanting everyone to be free, wanting everyone to be happy, wanting everyone to have what they have, So the Enneagram 9 is generally very focused on keeping people happy and keeping people okay. They are, in a sense, devoid of issuing criticism and of showing anger and issues in the world around them. They're not necessarily conflict-minded. They're not going to be trying to fix or to change or to stir things up in the desire to keep things better. They are rather going to be focused on making sure everybody can do what they want to do and everyone can be themselves and everyone can be free. So that's the utopian ideal of the Enneagram 9. And the hero shares that ideal in a manner of speaking. The hero archetype is also the decider archetype. So it's also very liberal. It's also very free-oriented. So you see the hero in a very outgoing sense. The hero is outgoing, where the Enneagram 9 is inward. So the 9 seeks this inner form of peace and tranquility and acceptance, where everyone is okay and everything's okay and you made peace with the world and everything is great the way it is. Where the hero is going out to create this free world, in a sense. So the hero wants everyone to be free, wants everyone to be happy, wants everyone to have this great state, and they're going to go out and they're going to make sure everybody is happy. So they're going to go out into the world, they're going to try to save the people, they're going to try to make things better, they're going to try to all that the 9 can resemble, but not by going inside and thinking about what makes us happy in reality or what is it that will be good for everyone, but rather by sometimes rash action and direct action. So going out immediately and seeing what is wrong and seeing things that are wrong and trying to make it better. So when understanding liberality, you have to understand it in relation to conscientiousness. And conscientiousness can almost be described as conservative, because the conscientious attitude is focused on the best outcome or ethics or some kind of morality. And there are some rules there. There is some laws. There is a seriousness. The conscientious attitude is serious, where liberal attitude is free and happy and joyful. So the serious or conscientious attitudes of the 8 and the 1 attitudes, it produces a lot more of serious person or a serious character, where the 9 and the hero archetypes, they are quite jolly or merry, or they appear to have no worries. But of course they do have worries. Of course, while the outer mindset is very merry and very happy, there can still be some kind of thing burdening them or something holding them down. And of course they might be laughing and pretending like everything is okay and going Hakuna Matata, but there might still be turmoil on the inside. So don't be fooled when looking at the hero or the 9. It might seem like everything is okay, but sometimes there might be bigger issues behind them. So moving forward to the 4 and the 2 archetypes, you have the 4, the 2, the Muse, and the 3. So you have the performer, the Muse, the helper, and the creator. And the creator is one archetype I relate to a lot. I always feel like I'm somewhere in between the creator and the helper. And they are actually bordering to one another. But the difference is the creator is a proactive archetype and the helper is a reactive archetype. And what that means is the helper is focused on what other people need. So how do you activate the helper? Well, you tell them you need something. I need help with this. I need this. I need that. So the helper is the one that is focused on what other people need and what they think other people need. So it's a response that is created by focusing on the needs of other people and the struggles and the concerns and the issues. So where the 4 is proactive and gets their own ideas and says, I want to do this or I want to do that. Then Enneagram 2 says, that person needs this from me and that person needs that from me. And then they are tied between those expectations. The 2 can appear tied because they have to help everyone and everyone needs something from them. And they feel, in a sense, that they never have time to focus on themselves or their own inner life. And that can be it. The blind spot of the 2 is forgetting about their own needs. The 2 and the 4 are conscientious types, just like the Enneagram 1 or the Enneagram 8. So you see the 2 and the 4 often focused on maintaining the serious attitude that we know them for, like the serious, conservative, idealistic, ethical attitude of wanting to do good, wanting to do right, wanting to be good people. So the 4 is often very focused on themselves and what they want to do to make the world a better place and to take responsibility and to help other people. So the 4 is often going on, what can I create? What can I do? What can I make that will make people happy? So that's often a concern that will make me a good person. What can make me proud of myself? What can I do that will make me proud of myself? The 2 goes, I have to help other people to be proud. If other people are proud of me, then I will be happy. The 4 goes, what can I do to be proud of myself and to be happy with myself? And what do I do? Well, I have a responsibility towards my own inner state and towards my own feelings and to recreating that and to conserving that and expressing that and speaking out about that. So the 4 is a very creative archetype and very focused on creating or using their proactiveness to create something or develop something or build something that will respond to and that will make the world better or that will reflect their own feelings or that will conserve their own emotions in some way. You have the 3 that's focused on competition. So a proactive and liberal type. The 3 is a performer type. So they are proactive like the 4, so they're always going out and they're always trying to do something, but they're liberal. So they're merry, they're happy, they're cheerful. You know, they're happy performers on stage that make people laugh. They are the people that have this anything goes mentality, any rules. There are no rules. You can do anything you want as long as it's gonna make you happy. It's a hedonistic approach to describe it. That's best. It's about you know, but doing what makes you happy, as opposed to doing what you think is right. So ethical types are often very devout and have strong beliefs that they are working on, where liberal types have very open-minded attitudes and very utopian or idealistic or utilitarian motives. So always whatever makes people happy is the right answer. So that's often then their approach. What can I do to make people as happy as possible? What can I do to make things as good as possible? What can I do to succeed as much as possible? So that focused on working proactively to be happier, to be more successful, to do better. And that is what creates the archetype or the complex of the performer type. Now you have the Muse, and the Muse is a very playful archetype, reactive, liberal, free flow. So it's very much based on, okay, what is the world around me and what makes people happy and what makes people enjoy themselves. And it's because of that very playful. Playful because anything goes, whatever makes people happy is the right thing. And, you know, that ability to just enjoy yourself and to enjoy the moment and to enjoy what happens and to take a laugh at the situation and to let go and to just be a part of the situation and your environment and what's happening, to have fun and to let loose and to just be yourself. That is the Muse's core goal. Now you have the 5, the 7, and the warrior, and then Enneagram 6 archetypes. And the 5, that's an archetype characterized by inwards-oriented learning. So just going inside, deep diving, thinking deeply about something, learning more, uncovering more, understanding more about it, gaining more awareness. It's always gaining more. It's a very much about accumulating resources and thoughts and knowledge and expertise and information. So it's very inwards oriented in this. Like the inwards oriented archetypes, they're always gathering. So it's always more and more and more. Where the outgoing types, they're often very generous. So there's always have this and have that and have this. So the 5 is always focused on, and this, as well as the 6, you know, that process of gathering things and taking things in and processing things and developing things and making more things then after that. So it's always like that process of developing or working on or processing or gaining or acquiring. And the 5 is a learning archetype. So it's always second guessing itself and it's always rethinking things and it's always going deeper. Like, was that really correct? Was that really true? Could I really know this for sure? But it rejects the outer evidence and it's has a fear of sharing with the world what it knows and of expressing it to other people. What if it's wrong? What if it's wasn't right? What if I couldn't trust it? So it's very hard for the 5 to share their own ideas and thoughts and what they know. And they often tend to keep it to themselves for as long as possible. The 7 is the open discoverer. So they're always going out and searching and uncovering more, learning more. And the 7 is characterized by that generous outgoingness. So it's sharing experiences with other people. Hey, everybody, come look at this. The 7, the discoverer archetype, loves to find and to share their discoveries with other people. So that's often their goal, their end goal state. You have the 5 and the 7, they're both learning archetypes. They're both very open-minded, both very receptive. They're constantly like absorbing new things, new perspectives and everything, and they're just putting it all together. Where the warrior and the 6, they're very focused on maintenance and fixing and holding together and keeping things intact. So the warrior and 6, they reject that, taking ships or their connections or their boundaries or whatever it is that they're trying to hold together, you know, their own system, their own beliefs, their own mental framework. And they value that more than what the world says or what other people think. So they have very strong inner states. And that's what allows the warrior to be quite a fierce archetype, to be able to go out and to speak their mind and to say what they believe and to push out their own worldview. The warrior pushes out what they believe and tries to do it to hold the world together and to try to make the world a better place and to try to keep their system intact. The Enneagram 6, instead of being outgoing, has the 5's inwards oriented state. So it's, what can I do to maintain what I know and what I believe, what I think? It's absorbing and taking in, and it's inwards oriented. So it's always taking in new things, acquiring, developing, processing, but it's trying to keep things together, where the 5 is always second guessing and doubting and going, do I know this? Thinking critically, like, is this really true? The Enneagram 6 wants to hold together and wants to know this is true, this is correct, this is what I believe. So their focus is on acquiring evidence that will support their views, and more evidence than that can back it up. So backing up your own beliefs and your own thoughts. And that's often why it's a very friendly, friendship-oriented function. It's building bonds and connections and strengthening its own views and strengthening its own system. And it does so by the support of other people and the system, and by uniting with and being loyal to the people around you and to the system, creating something that will last together with other people and with facts and science and data and so on and so forth. Now, this is all I can do in this video because I have to get to work, but it's been lovely having you all here. We're 12 people, even though it's early morning. And what the hell, Ferry, how are you able to make every stream I make? That's really impressive. You as well, Saku. Hi, Emma. Hi, Adrian. Hi, Paul. Hi, Horse Mumbler. Are all the cool typology people named Erik? Who else? Gus Virgil struggles to know if he's a 2 or a 4. Well, what you have to look at is, how proactive are you versus how reactive are you? What do you put first, other people's needs or your own needs? That's a good starting point. Stephen Moore, welcome. Hi, Iris. Yes, I'm surprised she's still alive, but she is an action hero. Fairy of something is an action hero. So I'm not surprised. Anyways, I hope to see you all in my next stream, which is perhaps going to be tonight.